Hi everyone, my name is Sarah and I'm a part of Graham Ghetto Love. Before any of you ask, I am not in the intro, I haven't given a video before, but I'm here, I'm thriving, I am a part of Graham Ghetto Love. If I had to choose a squad, I would be a part of the Conscious Squad, but it is completely up to Robin and Shakira's discretion to put me wherever they feel free to. It is my first time giving a YouTube video, so bear with me. I'm here to talk to you all about Preview, registering for classes, and with that comes with Add, Drop, and Swap, as well as critical tracking courses. So Preview is your orientation, your little segue or introduction into college life and applying or registering for classes. You get to meet wonderful people. There are some fun activities planned. You get to learn about campus resources. I don't want to give too much away because I truly want you to enjoy your Preview experience. But when I went, the weekend started off with me getting a lanyard that said Preview on it, and it had like my schedule on the back, so that was pretty cool. But when it comes to registering for classes, the University of Florida provided me during my Preview year with a whole booklet. And in this booklet, it talked about the different colleges and schools. It talked about campus resources. But what for me it was truly useful for was registering for classes for general education courses. I don't know if you can really see, but there's like a biological sciences breakdown, a composition, a humanities, mathematics, social studies. And it was useful for me in the sense that when it came to seeing where my AP classes, my AP scores played into credit, that was helpful because there was a whole page on that. I know if people took IB courses in high school, or ACE it is, I think, there was also a breakdown on where your credits came in from those exams. And it was just really helpful, this booklet, in terms of if I was pre-law or if I was pre-health, and breaking down how to register for courses and how many I should take and what my backup courses should be. So one thing to note is that when you are registering for classes on your 1.uf account, there may come a time when a class that you really wanted and really needed to take during your first semester at UF has no seats when you originally register, but during the first week of classes, there's something called Add, Drop. And someone may drop that course because the first week is like a trial period, and that course may not be suitable for you. You may not be ready to take it. Someone may drop that course and you're able to get into, say, Introduction to International Relations, when in the summer during your Preview, when you tried to register for it, there was no seats, but during that first week of fall, you're able to register for it because someone dropped that course. So if things don't work out your way, you have the ability to add a course or swap a course during that add drop period of the first week of the semester. So that is what my Preview booklet looked like during my year, which was last year. I don't know if it's going to be digital by the time that you go to Preview, but that's just the general breakdown. My wonderful Preview staffer was Sawyer Carlton, and I just loved having her. She helped me decide not to take college algebra when I didn't need the credit. I ended up taking math for liberal arts majors, and I swapped it. I swapped for that course, math for liberal arts majors, after Preview, but she told me about it. Another thing you get is a whole guide to majors. Mine came in a newspaper format. Yours may be digital. I don't know how Preview is being run your year, but for me, that's how it was. And in it, I got to see critical tracking courses for my major. So I'm a political science major, and during certain semesters, I'm required to take a certain political science class, and that's how critical tracking courses work. They are courses that you have to take during a specific time, during a specific semester more specifically, in order to graduate on time. And so for me, during my first semester, I had the option of choosing one of 4 courses, and I decided to take Introduction to International Relations, and that's how I knew I was on track to graduate in time, or graduate with a political science degree in time. And after Preview, I think you'll be able to get access to your degree audit on your 1.uf account, which shows you all of the necessary classes that you need to take, general education or otherwise, in order to get your degree and graduate on time and not go into excess credit hours. I know that I'm throwing a lot of terms at you: add, drop, swap, critical tracking courses, degree audits. what if scenarios. It's a lot to process, and you're going to be going through that during preview. And I promise you, your preview staffers are equipped and trained to help you. Don't forget to take breaks during your preview. Don't forget to enjoy it. You're meeting new people. It's a little transition into college, so please feel free to take breaks during your preview. I know I'm throwing a lot of information out at you, but I just want to make sure that you get the general gist of how things will work. So at the end of your preview, you're going to be given the opportunity to register for classes after looking through booklets, after looking through majors and guides and scenarios, and you get to register for classes and talk to an academic advisor. One thing to note is that when you do talk to your academic advisor, take everything with a grain of salt. Even take the advice that I'm giving you with a grain of salt, because of the fact that they might not have taken that class that they're recommending you to take. If you have access to upperclassmen that have already taken these courses, I highly recommend talking to them first before you register for those classes. Also go to ratemyprofessor.com and see if a professor that's teaching class in the fall is the same as a professor that's teaching in the spring. Because for me personally, when I registered for a course in the spring, my professor was a lot harder than the one in the fall. So you want to make sure that you do your research and make sure that the class you're taking will be the class that's suitable for you. Take everything that academic advisors say with a grain of salt, I promise you. Maybe talk to other preview staffers during your preview. Maybe they're a potential major or minor that you're interested in, or maybe even a double major. So that's my advice when it comes to talking to academic advisors. Have fun during your preview. When it comes to registering for classes after preview, let's say that you didn't initially like a course that you registered for, you're gonna have to wait till your registration time. And so, for example, let's say that you had your preview at the end of May, and then classes, of course, for the fall don't start until mid to late August. I think there's, at least for me, there was like a week or two before the semester started that I had a registration time at 8 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the summer, and I could go back and swap and add and drop courses. And then of course, again, you have the ability to register, add, drop, swap for courses during that first week of classes, where I like to call it a trial period, because the courses that you sign up for, of course, you don't know what they're going to be like except for a syllabus, and then you can just change your mind and then be happy at the end of everything. So I discussed preview. It's a lot of fun. It can be overwhelming. Take those breaks. You'll be able to register for classes. I talked about critical tracking courses. Those are courses necessary for you to graduate on time, and you have to take them during a certain semester. So I was required to take one political science introduction course my first semester, and then I'll probably have to take another. I took another one my second semester, and then again I have to take it during the third semester, fourth semester, so on and so forth. You get the gist. Aside from that, there's add, drop, and swap. You'll have access to your degree audit. You'll see where your AP, IB, ACE, maybe even dual enrollment credits are placed through your degree audit once you have access to that. And of course, take everything that your academic advisor says with a grain of salt. Take everything that your preview staffers say with a grain of salt, and take the advice that I'm giving you with a grain of salt. This was such a great video. It was my first one. If I did terrible, let me know. I'm kidding. Like and subscribe. Nice to meet you all. Bye.